And this is what we wrestle with. We think, well, then there must be something I need to do. We sense that something's required. And we sense that correctly. We sense correctly that something else is required. And yet Jesus is saying that there's nothing you can do to earn it. I told the story at Christmas of the Air Florida crash. I was a boy here in Washington when the Air Florida plane left Reagan National and hit the 14th Street Bridge in the icy Potomac River. And watching those six, I don't know how many survived it, 6 or 7 people, I think, in that, I think she was a flight attendant clinging to the ice, and she was in shock, and she didn't know what was happening, and the helicopter was dropping the life ring to her, and she couldn't hold on to it, and this man, who we find out later, was just driving home from work, sitting in traffic on the 14th Street Bridge, standing there watching this. He takes off his coat and jumps into the ice. And you've seen these stories on Oprah or on the news or places where this person is indebted. It's like their life was rescued by this stranger. And I don't even know how to begin to thank you, but they have to. They have to. It's like they want to do something. Well, the something that Jesus asks for is our everything. See, we can't do anything to earn what he's already done for us. He's already loved us. Some of us are so busy living out a religious life, trying to earn his love. He already loves you. But when you sense that something else is required, you're right, that it's nothing we can do. It's not a good that we can do. It's a surrender. Everybody worships something. Jesus says you can only have eternal life if you worship your rescuer. If you allow your rescuer to earn the right to now have control of your life. And in this man's case, money control. And see, I think a lot of us relate to him. We live in such an affluent area. I mean, we're listed now as #1 wealthiest county. If you live in Fairfax County, #2 in the country. And I hear people debating what they should do with their money. We've been to this island. We went to Southern California this month. People in our church, husbands and wives, get into arguments about the next place to visit or travel, or it's amazing. And this isn't about criticizing anybody. It's about what has our heart. Now, this isn't a message about money. It really isn't. It is about what has our heart. But I do believe for a lot of us, we live in an area where money has us. And maybe it's not cash. Maybe it's the status that money affords us. Maybe it's memberships. Maybe it's a certain appearance. Maybe it's power in some cases. See, that's what Jesus could be challenging us about this morning, is the status. Or that's our love. That's our love. I sit, even though this isn't a money message, really, I want to say this. I mean, maybe it is. I'm not going to skirt that. Maybe this is a money message for you. Maybe that's exactly why you're here today. I sit in staff meetings in the wealthiest county in the country with so much strain in people's faces, burdened because the funds aren't there to fund what is being requested for ECHO, for our teenagers or for our children's programs, or there's a staff position that this church so badly needs, but the funds aren't there. And it does send me home on some days wondering, how can this be? Is it indicative of something else having our hearts? And I believe oftentimes it is the case. The bigger question this morning is, what do you love? It may be a something, it may be a job, it may be the next job that you can see. It's been in your mind for a long time. It might very well be a person. Jesus knows we can't have eternal life and walk in love and become the person we are not. If he who is love, our rescuer, doesn't have everything, doesn't have our everything. And so what is it for you? What is it? What is that thing that has you? Is it possible that it's money? Instead of you controlling your money, is it possible that your money controls you? Are you bound enough by your bills or debt or toys that you can't give back to God or can't give to people in need or can't be available? Maybe your job requires so much time to pay for all the stuff that you don't have time to give to the people around you. I don't know. But at some point, if we're honest with God, he's going to whisper these words, and they're going to come kindly, but they're going to be direct. I have to have your everything. I have to have your everything.